I'm Pat Baer, and this is Pat Baer's Anime Club. It's an ongoing video series where every other Monday I explore a different topic from the world of anime that I want to chat with you about. This is the 129th video in this series, which is kind of wild. The early videos, the audio is bad, and sometimes the green screening is bad. That's it. That's all I want to say about the early ones. Let's get into it. What do I want to talk about in this episode? Well, we're going to be talking about, click the link here, 4 summer 2024 shows to watch. This is the thing that I do every season where after watching a few episodes, I've kind of figured out what I'm going to be focusing on that season and what shows I could recommend. I usually don't recommend shows that are in their second or third or fourth season, even if I think they're great. Like, hey, the current My Hero Academia, real good. Very solid. You should probably get caught up on My Hero. But let's focus on some new shows. And yeah, we're going to start with an isekai, but it's an isekai to get you to the actual real story. It's called A Journey Through Another World, Raising Kids While Adventuring. And yes, the image, their font choices are bad, but it's a journey through another world, raising kids while adventuring. You get it. Because it is about a guy who gets isekai, ends up in a fantasy world with adventuring and becomes an adventurer and joins a guild and does all that other stuff. But really it's about a guy who almost immediately finds these young kids and decides, I got to look after them. I got to figure out where they're from, if they have family, what's going on with them. And also, hey, is every kid this strong? And the answer is no. These kids are special, but they also are precocious and fun and awesome. And so it's just a joy. It's such a great little adventuring series that happens to have an isekai main character who is strong and is powerful, but is going the big brother, like replacement dad, stepdad role. He's looking out for these kids, and it's joyful to watch him do so. It's just a really, I keep saying joyful, and that's what it is. It's a fun adventuring series. If you're looking like this season overall, and I only chose one to talk about here, it's chock full of either isekai or not isekai, main characters who are just good dudes and the good dude adventures they go on. This one also has the benefit of fun kids, but you can't go wrong. All the good dude shows are good this season. Another isekai that I'm recommending, and I'm only going to talk about 2 out of the 4, but it is also an isekai that is not your traditional, these days, overpowered main character, harem, maybe there are slaves kind of style show. It's Dahlia in Bloom, the full title, Crafting a Fresh Start with Magical Tools. This show, it's an isekai to get you to the setting, but it really is just a coming-of-age romance slice-of-life show about a young lady who's just starting over. Her new life is a fresh start, and it doesn't go great. And while the first 2 episodes, I think, speed through the sadness inherent in her life, in this new life, and the parallels to her previous life, this is another woman or a person, I should say, because it happens to all genders on the spectrum in this kind of story. But yeah, our main character, she was overworked in her previous life. She died from overwork. She's reincarnated, and she wants to become a magic tool crafter like her father. And it's the look at like what happens when you finally start taking charge of your life and doing what you want to do, not just what is expected of you. It's lovely. The animation isn't anything to write home about, but God, there's something about Dahlia in Bloom that really, really makes me happy. And I'm so thrilled to be watching this. This is a manga that I really enjoyed. Now we've got a good, solid anime adaptation. If you are looking for an adventure series or a fantasy world series that is not your typical, I think this one is a strong choice. And it's kind of rare these days to have a female lead that is not in a villainous role in a otome game adaptation, kind of thing. So Dahlia. Dahlia's solid. Dungeon People, another female-led show. This one is not an isekai. It could be. I don't think it is. But as of right now, at time of recording, where I've seen 4 episodes, because episode 5 got delayed a week because of the Olympics, Dungeon People is goddamn solid. Holy shit. It is about a young girl who explores dungeons, and she's one of the best at it. And she gets offered a job working in the dungeon. And through her eyes, we get to see how that works, how the various monsters' souls are put into shells, so when they die, the monsters don't actually really die, just the shells, and the economy of working in a dungeon and making that all make sense. And we're starting to edge into the larger implications. I should say this. It's fun and silly sometimes, but it is not chill. There are moments that are treated with real, there are elements to this show that touch on, oh, yeah, not everyone is cool. Not everyone is great. And there are real consequences for some of these scenarios. And also, hey, there are monsters, but also humans sometimes are the real monster. They don't say it like that, but that is what you can definitely look into it. I want to say that because sometimes there are chill adventuring series like the box one, the vending machine, Boxo, where there's an episode that is just unbelievably devastatingly sad. This show hasn't gotten that far, but it certainly could. And I feel like it might by the end of it, because I don't know the source material of this. I just know the anime. But Dungeon People is just so cool. Of the 4 that I'm recommending in this video, it is the only one that is on High Dive. But I will say I'm watching a lot of shows on High Dive right now, this included. If you've let your High Dive subscription lapse, this might be a great time to get in there, because there's a bunch of good stuff on the service right now. Again, including Dungeon People. And the last recommendation for the summer 2024 season is My Dear Friend Nokotan. I mean, you've probably seen the opening song because there's a little dance and it went kind of viral. You may have seen clips of this show and been like, so is she a deer or not? And the answer is Nokotan is Nokotan. This is fucking weird, okay? It is a weird show that I'm really enjoying. It's about the Deer Club and the various girls that interact with the Deer Club, and there are deer out there, and maybe Nokotan is actually a deer, or she's just a part deer, or she's friends with deers. I don't fucking know, but I do know that I really love it. There is a possible deal breaker for you. If you do not enjoy the cis-con stuff, the younger girl obsessed with her older sister and who is maybe yandere about her older sister, if that's a deal breaker for you, then this show isn't for you. I will say that character has her moment in the sun for jokes and then kind of fades in the background. Doesn't disappear, but fades in the background more just recurring gags. But there is one episode that might be nah, I'm out. And I understand that. I was well, this show is so weird and we're moving so fast that I feel like this is not going to be the main thrust of the series. But for some people, it's just nope, I can't, I don't want this. And I get that. All the girls are weird. Nokotan's the weirdest, but everybody's weird in this. And it's fun and silly. And I'm really, really liking it. Side note, I have a series called Baer that you may have seen. And in under a minute, I try to recommend anime because they're shorts. I'm on purpose. I make them short. I don't know how I'm going to talk about this in under a minute because I know I'm going to recommend this when the time comes. There is the possibility I might fall out of love with My Dear Friend Nokotan, but it's not that likely. You should check it out. You really should check it out. It's real good. And I think that's all I really need to say about it. I don't know, watch the first episode. I believe it is on Crunchyroll. I believe there is their official, the publisher of this series is putting it on YouTube after like a delay, and you can watch it that way as well. But again, it is delayed. The episodes are delayed, but I believe you can legally watch this on YouTube, and I would say you should just check out the first episode, see if it's right for you. And that's for anime. There's a lot of like fine shows this season. I would say it's more enjoyable right now than the spring season, which I was greatly disappointed with. There were some high highs, but a lot of low lows. And I'm sure I didn't recommend your favorite show from this season because there's still a bunch of stuff. Anime is plentiful. So in the comments below, I'd like to hear from you. What's a show you're really enjoying or one that you weren't expecting to like? Are you watching I Parry Everything or God, it's such a long name, but the guy that became he's like in his 40s and became an adventurer. Are you watching, I don't know, Oshinoko Season 2? That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Season 3, Part 2. What are you checking out? Let me know. Are you excited because, like, in my opinion, the bad isekai is back. There's this guy I don't like, but people really love Konosuba. Some people really love Konosuba, and I fucking hate it. But maybe you're psyched because there's more of that. Let me know in the comments below. I've been Pat Baer. This has been Pat Baer's Anime Club. If you have recommendations for future videos you'd like to see me make, I'm not running out of ideas. I just had a new idea for two videos ago, or last video. Last video was, my favorite shows of the first half of the year. I have ideas, and I have, episodes I've done before that I like to revisit. But if you have something that you'd like to see me tackle in a Pat Baer's Anime Club video, I would love to hear from you about it. I'm looking to see how long this video was. Yeah, this is a little bit of a short one. They don't all have to be 20 minutes. Sometimes they can be 12 minutes. I don't know. I don't have to talk for 7 or 8 minutes about each of these shows. But let me know. What would you like to see me do in the future? If there's something you'd like to see me revisit, or I don't know. I've had an idea of a video that I've wanted to do. I've mentioned it on here that I've wanted to do weirdest and worst reveals at anime because I need a place to talk about like love flops and Gibate. And I've talked about that one before, but I want to talk about it again. And like, maybe I'll fucking talk about the Dr. Stone, even though that's manga. So maybe I need to wait for Dr. Stone to be done before I can talk about Dr. Stone. But like, I don't know. I kind of want to talk about like the weirdest and worst reveals in anime and manga. I also want to do, somewhat related, the joy of being anime only is like like an essay that I've wanted to do, like a video essay about like sometimes things get fixed or it goes a different way. And if you don't know that sometimes it's a bad adaptation if you are obsessed with the manga, but the anime adaptation is still pretty good. And it's like, I don't know. Sometimes the filler is solid. What are you going to do? I've been thinking about that in light of a couple shows that people hate on because they really love the manga, but it's a good show. So I don't know. Those are ideas I've had. I'm not sure what I'm going to do in 2 weeks, but I love your feedback. Thanks so much for watching this video. I don't think I've been patting the end, but I've been rambling. So I'm going to wrap it up here, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.